Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we've got Steffany Boldrini with us, and Steffany is in the real estate investment world. She has her own company called Monte Carlo Real Estate Investments. So Steffany, it's great to have you. I'd just love to hear how you got from Brazil to California and about your real estate history.
Thank you so much for having me, Bruce. Great to be here. Yes, I came here by a miracle of God. My mom met my stepfather back in 2000, and before 2000 in the AOL chat rooms,
Oh,
and
wow.
he was crazy enough to bring four Brazilians and two dogs here. My mom had three kids, and it was a blessing. Um,
And you were one of the children?
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes, I was 18 when I came. And just like you, I was in the Bay Area for most of the time, and I just recently left.
yeah. You moved down to Newport.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as real estate, I was in tech sales at startups, and I had a friend who was a real estate investor in retail, and I thought that was a very interesting asset class because I at that time started investing as an angel investor in YC startups, Y Combinator startups, and none of them were doing well. And I said, wow, real estate sounds like a very low risk uh, form of investment. So I started learning everything from him. Now, of course, you can lose money, but if you do basic homework, it's very hard to lose money in real estate. So that here we are.
Yeah. So that's interesting that you went from the Y Combinators into real estate. You're thinking, yeah, the the return you can get a 10x from a certain startup, but it's not always the case. So it's got to be very a very kind of lucky situation to make it all work. So you found that real estate's much easier, much more profitable in that regard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what kind of startups were you actually working with originally?
I just went to the demo days, which are now just 1 minute per startup. They present for 1 minute and you have to decide. Of course, you can get a chance to meet with them later, but I found out that the numbers they were presenting were not real, and all of
Uh,
them died. All the startups died, and so 100% loss there. Um, so I heard that you have to know the people inside YC so they can tell you which ones are the actual ones that are actually doing well. So you
oh,
have to,
that's interesting. So
yeah.
they reel in all these investors, but then they basically don't support the investment itself.
Then the ones that I invested in, the numbers were not true when they were
Oh
presented.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, they look great on paper or in person, but that was it.
That's
That was the end
correct.
of it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow. So then you just said, well, forget that. I want something that's going to actually give me a return.
Yes. And about 90% of all wealth created up until now has been through real estate. So it's a proven method.
That is true. That is so true. So what kind of product do you have right now in terms of real estate?
I have self-storage, some small multifamily project that we're converting to condos and selling them as condos, and a mistake that I've made, which is a self-serve car wash in Texas, which we're trying to exit as we speak.
Yeah, yeah. Have you gotten any interest?
We managed to sell one of them, so now we have one more to go.
Oh wow. Oh, you had two total. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, well, I mean, I uh, car washes sounded like such a good thing and so forth, but apparently the return wasn't all that great on that particular locations.
They are actually a really great asset class, but that is all you have to do. And you need to know how to manage, these people that are there working for you. You need to know how to recruit that type of people. maintain them and make sure that they're honest, and also make sure that you keep up with things that break. They break all the time. People think it's laundromats and car washes are very easy, but they're not. Things break, and if you're not on top of it, it's just going to exponentially grow. And if you don't have good employees, it's very tough. I do think
Well,
it's a
isn't
great
that
asset class,
sort
though.
of true in terms of the self-storage units? It's more, in some ways, it's more of a business than a real estate play.
Aren't they all a business at the end of the day?
Well, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, some are less management intensive than others.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. For industrial triple net leases, maybe that is more of a quote unquote real estate, but you
right,
still need to get a tenant if you lose a tenant, and that takes sometimes years to negotiate, find, if it's a national tenant. So
right.
I think they all count as businesses.
Yeah, no, no, that's a very good point that they're all a business of sorts. Even if it's the annuity from a Taco Bell or whatever, you still
Yeah.
have a business to manage in some way or another. That they're not that there's something there, and then of course it gets more and more intensive as you go to a different style. I think multifamily is maybe the most intense in terms of management intensive,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
yeah.
Maybe
So
car washes more than multifamily.
which it sounds like you decided not that was not one you wanted to stay into. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So are
Yeah.
you selling to another car wash owner? Is that what's happening?
Whoever wants it. I'm raffling out at the end of the podcast.
At the end of the podcast, you call Steffany and you can buy a car wash in Texas right away.
Giving it away for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
Take it.
Please take this away from us. It's too much trouble. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Wow. So yeah, so as with any business, you have to kind of learn the ropes and go through the process, and there's ups and downs and so forth. So it sounds like the self storage are going pretty well.
Yes. And that
Have
is
you
why I
got
think is Mhm.
one self storage, or how many self storage do you have?
We have about 5 or 6 right
Oh
now
wow,
between syndications and properties that I own or partnered up with people.
yeah. So that's interesting. So tell me about how you're syndicating.
I
You
I
just
have been fortunate to have met somebody 6 years ago at a real estate conference, and we became friends, and we decided to partner up. He had been raising funds for over 20 years,
oh
so
wow,
we partnered up on quite a few deals.
quite a few. And so do you find the deals and he funds them, or how does this work?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I find I've been doing a lot of the management, but he's also retiring, so he paid his dues, and we're just powering through as much as we can. Uh,
So you're kind of taking over his business. Is that sort of what's happening, or just moving
we're
forward?
we're still gonna be partners, but yeah, he's just a great friend with a lot of ethics, and I think that's really important in real estate. And he has done right for his investors whenever things went wrong, and I think that's very important in a partner.
So how many investors typically would come in on a property?
It depends on how big the deal is and how much they invest. I'd say the last one, maybe 10 for a $2 million raise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Out of how many? 10 people?
Yeah, 10 ended up covering the 2 mil.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you throw in some equity or whatever of your own, and off you go from there.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So you think you'll continue down that road?
I would love to find one cash partner because
Oh,
it's
rather
just,
than having a
yeah,
bunch of people. Yeah,
yeah,
that would be nice. That would
yeah,
be much easier, I'm sure. Yeah.
yes.
So are you using property management companies, or how are you handling this?
A great question. On some deals, yes. Some deals we're still self-managing. So the larger ones, we're definitely using property management companies. and the smaller ones that are, my deals, the initial ones, which everyone should spend their own money on their first few deals so they can make as many mistakes as possible on their own dime. So yeah.
Really learn the ropes.
Yes, exactly. When it's painful in your pocket, you really learn.
You're immediately hit in the pocketbook and you know right away. Yeah,
Yes.
I can understand that completely. So are you using any in-house property management software?
Well, there are softwares for self-storage in particular.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we
So
just use those. They're not
yeah,
in-house, but the team
right,
is
right.
in-house.
There's a specific one to self-storage. Yeah, because it's very intensive in terms of people coming in and going out and so forth. So,
Renting the unit, and also rent increases, communication with the tenants, making sure they moved in or moved out, all of that.
so what markets are you in with the self-storage?
North Carolina, Texas, and Colorado, and if all goes well, building one in Stockton,
Oh, you're
California.
building it.
Yes.
You build it. You build them yourself?
Pray for me. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Is this the first one you've built?
Yeah, that'll be the
Oh,
first
okay.
ground
All
up.
right. Well, that is a whole different fun operation to take care of.
Yes, but
Yeah. How
you
far
don't
along are
learn
you?
until you do it, to be honest. I tried asking people, okay, please explain to me the entire development process. Oh, okay, what is that? What is a civil engineer? And what is a landscape? Do we need a landscape architect? We need a PG&E person? You really learn on the job. Uh,
Oh, yeah. So how many units are you building in that self-storage?
that'll be over 500 units.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
that's big, right? How many square
Yeah.
feet is that?
It'll be 75 net rentable.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. Wow. But the NOI on self-storage, what's the vacancy rate on a self-storage?
It depends on the market. So it's around 92%
Yeah.
occupancy. Hmm.
Yeah. So 10%, you're always kind of running at 10% with all the turnover or whatever.
As the
So
worst case. It depends on the
yeah.
market, of
So
course.
why did you decide you found a chunk of land in Stockton and you said this is a great location, let's go here?
I mean, a great location would be Palo Alto.
Uh,
But yes, we found a good location that needed climate controlled units. So
oh,
we're building that and some larger units, which are also in demand right now for contractors. Uh,
oh.
so
So
yes,
yeah, you've done your market research, it sounds like.
yes, you have to.
Well, that's interesting. How do you find market research on self-storage units?
Well, first you do your own. So we search for the rates in the area and demand and prices and how many units per square foot per person that live there are available or coming in the market. And once we get in contract, we pay for a feasibility report. So that's a very in-depth report that professionals do to confirm our assumptions and tell us, okay, you should charge this, and that, and these are the unit breakdowns that you should have, and this is a go or no go.
Oh, wow. So how much does a feasibility study cost? A couple grand or?
I wish between 6 to 10,000.
Oh, okay. So it's not a small chunk of change, but
No.
well worth it, it sounds like.
Yes.
Do you go to an appraiser who does that?
A person that does feasibility studies, and a lot of
Oh,
the
okay.
times they focus on a specific asset class.
Oh, so you find a specific feasibility study company that looks at self-storage units.
Correct.
Wow, where do you find those people? Go to the
Through
internet?
self-storage mastermind,
Oh.
networking, and it's who you know, not what you know.
It's who you know. That isn't that true of this whole business. So
Yes,
that is so true. So
yes.
what's your long-term goals?
Long-term goals is to own $1 billion worth of real estate in a decade.
Wow. Okay. So how far into that decade are
We're
you?
far. We're far. I need help. I need help.
And you haven't quite gotten to the $1 billion level yet? You're close, but not quite there yet?
I'm not close yet. I don't have a private jet yet.
That is a very aggressive. I love that goal. That's fantastic. I want to talk to you in another year and see how you're coming along with that goal.
Sounds great.
That would be great.
That would be great.
Well, this has been good. You've got to jump to another call. So where would people get a hold of you, Steffany?
They can go to my website, montecarlorei.com, or LinkedIn, whatever. I'm out there. Just or my email is on the Zoom.
Find it. So if they have self-storage sites or they want to buy a car wash in Texas, give a call right away.
Yes. Yeah. Call me today.
I'll
give you a deal.
All right. Well, this has been very fun.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.